You guys have been asking for this video for quite a long time, so I'm excited to actually give you guys something today about the Veilside RX-7. This is gonna be a pretty raw video. It's almost gonna be like one continuous long clip. I am getting ready to go on a trip to Hyperfest this weekend, and my plane leaves in just a few hours. So I'm gonna do my best to film this video before I leave because you guys ask about it all the time. If you guys didn't see the videos, about 2 months ago, Kyle and I put together a Veilside kit on an RX-7 that we purchased from Top Rank. This build has been a pretty long process. It took us about a week to put all the pieces on, and it's been at Torrey Pines Collision getting body work and prep work before it goes into paint. It's taken them a very long time, and we'll get into that today a little bit, and I'll finally show you guys. One of the things that we have to do today before the car goes into paint is I need to check the fitment on the new wheels that we had built for the Veilside. Now this is one particular set of wheels that I have been very excited about. I really wanted to add a lot of spice to this build, and I think a lot of people are expecting me to make a Veilside replica car, which I'm not gonna say anything really about that, but I am gonna say I wanted to deliver a new set of wheels on this car that was just like big mic drop and a lot of spice. You can see it behind me. We have two huge sets of wheels behind me. These are the new Blitz 03s that were built by 3-Piece US. They've been building so many wheels for us. These are two massive sets. Now, on the Veilside, it's pretty common for people to go 20s all around on the Veilside, but I decided to go a little bit different. So what we did is we used a 17 face and an 18 face. So we're running a 18 in the front and we're running a 19 in the rear. I think the fronts are 11 inches wide. The rears are 12 inches wide. They are super cool, super dope. Honestly, one of the biggest wheels I think I've ever ran.
Such a deep wheel.
So we're gonna drive over to Torrey Pines Collision, get the update on the car, and test these wheels and see how they fit, because I don't want to order my tires without knowing how close they are to actually fitting on the kit, because this was all done by math, and we just want to make sure we know what they look like before we order tires. Here we are again with the RX-7, and I actually already started putting on the rear wheel. I got antsy and didn't show you guys that, but before I get to that wheel and we start talking about fitment and how it looks, I want to give a walk around of the car, and I have Patrick here with me to talk about it, because you're gonna hear him say in this video this thing is not the most fun kit to fit on the whole entire car, and you can see there's a bunch of things that have been altered, and there's a bunch of notes throughout the car of things that they have fixed and things that they still need to fix before it goes in. But where we are right now, how much longer do you think it actually gets primered and we actually get paint on the car?
Couple weeks. The primer part's gonna be the easiest part. Sanding it down is gonna be really easy. We just have a couple fitment issues left here, and then that's about it. We are getting towards the finish line.
So starting from, let's start here on this door.
The doors.
What is all this like gray here for?
This gray is here because we had to custom shave both sides of these panels, because these panels were in a garage, you just told me, in Texas. So they are pretty warped. When you dropped it off, it rubbed on both sides. When you opened it, it rubbed on the inside of the door and the front with the fender.
Right.
All that has been customized to fit. We left this door for you to actually show you how it rubbed as well.
So this right door hasn't been fitted yet, but when you open it, you'll be able to...
The back side has been fitted. The front
the back side's been fitted.
Back side has been fitted. The lines are nice. And then now the rub right there.
Oh, you can see it's already like picking up some of the fiberglass.
And it's actually 10 times worse, but because the car is actually up, it's flexed a little bit.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So just tons of
dealing
drama.
with those two issues. So we had to custom glass both of those in there. We deleted your reflectors for you.
Yeah, there was typically like a reflector right here that you're supposed to run, but I was like, just fill it, shave it, let's leave it. I don't even want anything there, so it's cool to see that's been filled up.
These taillights did not want to fit in this kit, so we actually made custom brackets on the backside to where if anything happens, you could actually take it apart and remove the taillight as well. This Grand Canyon size gap is now closing.
Yes.
Because
and it is still, like, you can see there's a gap, but this was like almost like 2 fingers of a gap. How did you guys bring this hatch back, or did you feel it?
We didn't bring the hatch back. We actually heated the rear bumper up, and then we made a couple brackets here, and then we are gonna 3D print you 3 brackets as well to close up the edges here.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really an issue of the hatch being short, but of the bumper sagging, and we needed to like pick it up and push it.
There is zero support from here to here. just nothing on the inside. It's kind of crazy. Usually there'll be some kind of support.
I naturally have a very busy schedule and a very busy life. Because of that, it used to force me to eat not very healthy foods, oftentimes resorting to fast food. Ever since I partnered with Factor, I've been able to eat clean and eat good at the same time. I even got Sabrina hooked on these because they are pre-made meals that are dietitian approved, and they're healthy and they just taste amazing. Factor offers keto, calorie smart, chef's choice, and vegan plus veggie options, which include seafood, meat, and plant-based meals. Factor cuts out stressful meal planning and extensive prepping so meals come together in just minutes. The meals arrive pre-prepared and ready to eat within 2 minutes, which is faster than ordering takeout. This sounds kind of cliche, but Factor actually tastes amazing. It is one of my favorite meals to make, and I found myself just snacking on them all the time on the go for fun. Head over to go.factor75.com/hunt120 to receive $120 off, or just click the links down below and use code HUNT120 at checkout to reap the benefits. Thank you so much, Factor, for sponsoring today's video and allowing me to eat clean and healthy. And let's get back to today's video. The gas cap's a whole nother issue.
Gas cap is a whole nother nightmare for us.
Yeah, so one of the biggest weird things about this kit that is just, it's one of those little personality traits is to get to your gas cap, you have to reach through like 6 inches of fiberglass just to open this up. Now where that becomes an issue is imagine you taking this gas cap out, like, okay, I'm gonna put this here, and then you're gonna try and get your gas nozzle inside this hole.
That isn't gonna work.
Yeah, it doesn't even go in. So you have to create, I guess, I've never seen anything or I've really like dug too much research online, but you have to create some sort of tunnel system or a funnel to get the gas to pour into the car. So I've actually asked Patrick to try to make a rigid enough funnel into the tank where I can still put my gas handle and leave it so it autofills, if that makes sense. I don't want to have to feel like I have to get a gas can, fill it up, and then just gravity feed a gas can into this to fill it up. That's just like one issue that needs to get solved, and I guess it just comes with the part of having a Veilside RX-7. The front hood, you can almost see it from this perspective. Pat said that he believes that it's warped through just sitting in heat and humidity, and you can kind of see how it's bubbling up. You actually said that's one of the more easier parts for you.
That's easy. So fiberglass with heat, infrared heat, it forms really well. You just have to have a good game plan to do it, because there is that fine line of big mistake and ruining the panel or just getting it done right. So my guys actually have a good plan for this, and your fuel cap system over there. It's drawn on paper. We just got to make it into reality here. And then we did delete.
There was another reflector or a turn signal or something right here.
Blast them in.
Hell yeah. And the rear skirts aren't on right now because we wanted to get a jack underneath the car so we could test with the wheels. And if you have the skirt on the car, you can't jack up the car. So that's left off for purpose. It's cool to see this car. I don't remember like seeing it, or I haven't seen it all together in a pretty long time. I don't know, you guys really wanted that update. So there's still bodywork to be done, but as Patrick has said, it's more of like the easier stuff. The hard stuff is really fitting these doors to not rub and getting the material to fix and flex how it was originally supposed to, which it's a lot of stuff.
It is a lot of work, a lot of sanding. Once this thing gets primed, it's gonna be blocked about 20 probably plus times. It's gonna be pretty hard to get this thing just laser straight without those crazy fiberglass waves that you see out there that I hate, and I'm very particular on that.
That's a pretty good walk around of the car. I'm really excited. We're gonna be traveling for literally the whole month of May. So I'm excited to kind of be busy and be preoccupied, and hopefully by the time we come back, we actually have some color on this car. Well, let's get to like the real spicy part of today's video, and that is these Blitz 03s. We tossed on the rears in the back, and for going off of just measurements that we got online, 3-piece did a really good job. We wanted to go a little bit safe, and by safe, I meant we wanted to not go too aggressive with the rear wheel, so I have the option to do a more meaty sidewall, or we could do a more stretch fitment depending on what we want to do. So as you can see on camera, it looks pretty flush, but if you get right on top, you almost could have this be 10, 15 mil more aggressive.
If you look at it, you know, the same problem with the 240. We're having the camber issue. Look at it from here. If we're able to bring it back to 0, it seems like you could get away.
You think it'd be okay?
Yeah, maybe you would want to do a 5 mil spacer, but with your meat tires, that kind of you do a little more.
I
more tire than rim. If you bring it back to 0, we could get a real close fitment.
I'm honestly impressed. Shout out to Jake from 3-piece. He literally like built this with having the option to kind of go a few different ways. ways, and this, you said he's never done an 18 step lip this big before. It looks amazing. Oh, and we did J-lips, which I kind of left the wrapping on, but let me kind of peel this back. You guys know how I feel about the J-lips, and it is just, the detail work on that is so sick. Rears fit really, really well. Let's go ahead and throw on the fronts and see how they fit. I feel like Mickey's done first. All right, front's going on. I will just say this is a huge front. 11-inch in the front.
Yeah,
It worries me, but like mathematically it should work. But I think about turning an 11-inch wheel in the front, and
seems like a lot.
Seems like a lot of meat. Okay, here we go.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, that's
a little
so aggressive.
That looks a little aggressive.
That's
bud.
very aggressive. Okay, let me throw on some lugs here, and we'll jack it up, and we'll see if it cambers in at all. But that
looks aggressive.
That's
bud.
super aggressive. Good thing we still have a month before this, you know, car is like ready, because if this is too aggressive, we can send it back to 3-piece, and
really?
we already have them built. Making it skinnier is no issue. Maybe rather than running a 10-inch or an 11-inch, we could, you know, turn it into like a 10-inch or something. But don't quote me on that. But so Cal, show them how aggressive this is.
It is.
It's ultra
crazy.
mega. It's ultra mega. But I could be wrong. But here's my hypothesis. When we originally bagged our white FD, I remember one of the reasons why I didn't like that car bagged is because on this suspension setup that is on the FD, when you air out, you know, most cars that like modern cars, when they air out, the wheels kind of stay pretty flat. They don't really like get too much negative camber, and it looks good. But on the FD, whenever I aired out, the fronts particularly would sink in and almost would get like 3 to 4 degrees of negative camber when you air out. So this is full droop, it's very aggressive. I have a slight suspicion that when I jack this up, it's actually gonna be like perfect. We'll see. Oh, I'm jacking up the car now.
It's fun. Just keep going. I think that's it. That's all you got.
Yeah, you jacked the car.
That's all you got.
Oh, it's still moving. Is it?
It did. It moved a lot, but
is that too aggressive?
That's a whole lip.
You'd have to be stretched for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll take photos and I'll share it with Jake at 3-piece. He's kind of like the man, and whatever he says, I trust. We could run it, but we'd have to be like a stretched fitment in the front. Don't you think?
Be too different from the rear.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I think we might have to, because look at this top view. It has a good amount of camber right now. Might have to change the specs a little bit. I'll take photos, I'll take some measurements. It's always funny because I feel like when you see a car, remember we visited a car that's in the middle of Bodywork and it looks like this, I can't help but think to myself, oh my gosh, this thing looks like it's so far away from being done. But I can tell you guys, from experience, it looks like garbage right now. But in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's gonna come together so quickly, and paint is gonna get thrown on this car so fast that it's gonna come before you guys even know it. I'm really excited about this car, truly. I think it's such an art piece. Don't really see them, and I think a big reason as to why you don't see them is exactly what this video showcases. A lot of you guys are asking, why don't you just do the bodywork yourself? Well, because guys, with all the other cars that we have going on right now, which there's like 4 ongoing projects we're doing, to take on a bodywork job like this with not like the most experience, as much as you guys like seeing us like figuring things out, this is a professional body shop, which people who do this every day, it's all they do is work like this. It's taken them a month, over a month, just to get this far. It would consume Calvin and I's life to try to do all this ourselves, and pretty much everything else in the background and all the builds would have to come to a dead halt. So this is something like bodywork specifically where I think you need to be like a professional at it. It's something that I like to leave to the professionals and give you guys updates when I can, and then maybe come and join them during the paint day. But it's just phenomenal, and I think one of the reasons as to why people don't do this is because it takes so much body work. I don't even want to know what my bodywork bill is going to be on this car, because it's probably going to be as much as I spent on like my Huracan, because the Urcon was a front fender, rear fender, hood, front bumper, side skirt, rear hatch replacement, and that's what this FD is. So much work goes into this car, but it's coming together really quick. Big shout out to Patrick from Toy Pens Collision. I really appreciate them taking this build on, and man, I am hyped. Seeing these Blitz 03s on this car, it's getting me really excited for it. That's gonna conclude this update video. I know it was kind of raw and I didn't do much editing, but I'm really pressed on time because I'm flying out to Virginia, go to Hyperfest. I hope to see a lot of you guys there. I'm very, very excited about it. Also, I'm gonna link in the description a Street Hunter video that we did with Sabrina. It's so powerful and it's such an amazing video. Highly suggest you watch it out. Street Hunter has a YouTube channel, so if you wanna subscribe to that, also gonna be linked down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in Virginia. Peace out and keep moving forward.